part of my difficulty, I often have difficulties with long readings. My mind starts to wander and I get impatient. My other frustration with long readings, and we are getting into that time of the liturgical year where we will have to have long readings. And I'm with you on it, it's hard. Another frustration I have is that most priests think that the longer the reading, the longer the preaching should be. That really bothers me. I think the longer the reading, the shorter the homily should be. And so please excuse me for this short homily today. The last thing I want to do, because I know how much it frustrates me when others do it to me, I don't want to do it to you, is to go through the entire gospel reading and unpack everything for you. That won't do anything. This isn't the time or the place. It's too much. It's too much richness there. I want to get to the point. I want to get to the heart of this raising of Lazarus. And the heart is this, to me at least. The point is this. Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. That's the point. So often we look at Jesus, and I've done it too, as someone who points us towards something else. Well, here is a teaching, here is a parable, here is a pathway in which you can live. Almost like we look at other great teachers who show us a pathway. The gospel is not a self-help book, and Jesus is not a teacher of a moral code. Jesus is everything. The Christian faith is not about just a moral code or a new pathway or a quick self-help guide to improve our own lives. At the heart of it all, the Christian faith is about a relationship. It's about a relationship. There was a very interesting show a few years ago which really captivated me. It was called The Young Pope. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. The story was that a new pope is elected, and he's an American. And he's young. And in many ways, he's different. And there's a scene, and you can look it up on YouTube, it's called The Young Pope, the Plate. The kind of plate you would eat from. And in that scene, they're trying to create new things to sell with the image of the Pope. And so this curator, this young lady, is trying to convince this young Pope that he has to now start promoting himself and putting his image on these plates that they will then sell and make money for all kinds of organizations. And the young Pope stands there and he shows her a plate, a white plate, and he says, "This is what I want you to print." And the lady says, "But Holy Father, it doesn't have your image on it. It's just a white plate." And the Pope says, "My dear lady, I don't have an image. Only Christ matters. And I am nothing." It's a very powerful scene because that is at the heart of the gospel. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the answer. Don't search for things that you can do, that you can figure out, that you can discover pathways or interesting moral dilemmas that you can spend your whole life arguing about. That is not what our faith is supposed to lead us to. So often I will get together with good people, good Christians, and they want to talk about everything except for Christ. They want to talk about all the details and intricacies of what may have happened and didn't happen, whether we should do this moral thing or that. We all want to get lost in the details of non-essentials, even within our religion. How many priests spend their lives arguing what kind of vestment should be worn at Mass? It's not insignificant, there is a time and a place, but only Christ matters. We have to get to the point, to the center. And what is it? I am the resurrection and the life. Only if you come to me, if you know me, if you listen to me, if you have a relationship with me, only then will you have life. Everything else will be a distraction. It's not enough for us to stay busy. We have to be busy with the right things. Otherwise, we just spin our wheels. So that's the one thing I invite you to focus on today. And even as we enter into the Holy Week, to the Passion of Christ, we can become overwhelmed by all the celebrations and all the readings and all the reflections. Try to make sense of it all. Remember, only Christ. Draw unto him. Seek him. Be with him. And he will give you life. Amen.